안녕하세요 여러분. Hi guys. Welcome to Learn Korean with Clara 쌤. 한국어 같이 배워요. Today I'm going to talk about two honorific forms, 씨 and 님. How can you say hello Mina in a polite way in Korean? The answer is 안녕하세요 미나 씨. In English, we simply say Mina, but if you look at the sentence in Korean, at the end of the first name Mina, we can see 씨. What is that word 씨? Usually, the way to speak to other people in Korea is quite complex, much more complicated than in some other countries. There are many ways to express yourself to show politeness in Korean society. It all depends on the relationship you have with that person, and depending on that, it varies a lot. Very often, it is related to age, social standing, or how well you know this person. Korean society is very hierarchical, so using the honorific forms are very important to define the relationship between people. For example, when two people meet for the first time, they exchange personal information like age, year of entering college, and so on. And then they determine how they will call each other. Once that agreement is established, they move on. Among the honorific forms in this video, we'll study in particular 씨 and 님. First, let's learn 씨. We use the term 씨 with the full names and also first names. Just apply this word 씨 after the first or last name. As you can see here, after 김미나, you add 씨 to make it more polite. 김미나 씨. And you can also put it after the first name, 미나 씨. In Korea, unlike in some other countries, we write first the last name, then the first name. That's why we say 김미나 씨 here. Let's look at two examples. For the first sentence, you inform your coworker that there is a meeting this afternoon, and you start by calling him using 씨 as a sign of politeness. 민수 씨, 오후에 회의가 있어요. 민수, we have a meeting this afternoon. As you see in this sentence, after the first name 민수, there is 씨, which is added. 민수 씨. Or a friend introduces you to a man called Daniel, and you've just met him, so you say, 다니엘 씨, 만나서 반가워요. Daniel, nice to meet you. In this case, you also call him by adding 씨 after his first name, 다니엘 씨. But this word 씨, you cannot use it in a very formal or official situation. In this case, instead of 씨, we use 님. The latter is more polite than 씨. For example, you should not use 씨 with your supervisor at work. In Korea, people call their supervisors by their titles like 과장님 or 부장님, which correspond to manager and director in English respectively. They are never called by their first and last names in such a situation. The word 님 is used to show respect towards someone, but also sometimes to value jobs. For that, you just need to add 님 after the titles without spaces between them in the same way as you do it after the full name or the first name. For example, 선생님, 사장님, or 의사 선생님. Note that, unlike 님, C cannot be placed after titles, only after first or last names. For example, we never say 과장씨, we must say 과장님. And neither 선생씨, the correct expression is 선생님. Another example, as for 님, it is used in the field of service, like in banking or in sales. 김미나님, 1번 창구로 오세요. Mrs. 미나 김, come to the counter 1, please. 고객님, 무엇을 도와드릴까요? Dear customer, may I help you? As you can see here, we put 님 after the full name 김미나 and also after the word customer as a sign of politeness. Before finishing this video, an important point to remember. If you want to show politeness to someone, you'd better use 님 than C, because C is not always a sign of politeness. So to make sure that you remain polite to someone, it is safer to use 님 in Korea. That's all for today. Hope this video was interesting and useful to you. Thanks for watching and good work everyone. See you next time. 다음에 또 만나요. 안녕.